The veils that separate the truth from what the eyes see are being delicately lifted at this moment, and the celestial messengers have brought a message with the purest essence and a depth that will touch your heart in a very special way. There is something about the person who occupies your thoughts so much that needs to be understood now. Something that was said at an unexpected moment, charged with an energy that resonated through planes far beyond what we can imagine. The angels want you to know that your presence left an indelible mark, an essence that no distance or time managed to erase, and this truth took shape in a way that will surprise you deeply. Have you ever stopped to think about the power of sensory memories? How an aroma, a particular scent, holds the power to transport us to a past we judged forgotten, to evoke feelings and people with a vividness that defies reason. Well, that is exactly what the angels want to speak about. This person, this soul who crossed your path and left such a vivid impression, has kept a memory of you stored in their unconscious that shows itself, in a unique way, your scent. It is not just a fragrance, dear soul. It is the energetic signature of your presence, the echo of your essence that remained impregnated in their private universe. For a long time, this person may have tried to sweep any trace of you under the rug, seeking distractions, filling voids with new experiences, and perhaps even with other presences. They convinced themselves that time would heal, that absence would dilute the memories, that life would go on without your impact being more than a passing note in their melody. However, the angels show that this attempt at forgetting was in vain. What exists between you is not something superficial, which falls apart with the breeze or fades with routine. It is a soul connection, a bond of energy that remains, vibrant and strong, regardless of external circumstances. And this link made itself known in a way that completely disarmed them. Your scent, this so particular sensory memory, resurfaced not as a passive recollection, but as an active element, a trigger that made them revisit everything you lived, everything you represented and still represent to them. This essence, which is so yours, began to echo in their heart uncontrollably, turning the absence into a heavy burden. They found themselves thinking of you at unusual moments, feeling a pang of longing without knowing exactly why, until the universe orchestrated an event that would force them to confront this truth. What I am about to disclose to you next could change everything you think about the distance and the silence that settled between you. There is a fundamental piece in this puzzle that is only now coming to light, a conversation that occurred and made this person look at your relationship with a clarity they never had. This conversation was not planned. It was one of those moments when the truth simply erupts, driven by a greater force. The angels show that on a recent occasion, this person was talking to an acquaintance, someone who did not necessarily know the depth of your connection, or perhaps did not even know of your existence in detail. And it was in this scenario of apparent coincidence that your scent, your essence, came to the surface in the conversation, not as a compliment, but as an unconscious recollection that they verbalized without thinking, almost like a vent or a random observation. It's funny, but his scent still comes to mind sometimes, they may have said, with a lightness that hid the depth of the impact. But that is not all. The reaction of the acquaintance is the crucial point that the angels want you to understand. It was not just any response. It was a sentence, an observation, an energy that hit this person in the deepest part of their soul, making them stop and question everything. This response did not just leave them pensive. It shocked them, disoriented them, made them see how deeply you are rooted in their life, even if they tried to deny it. The angels say that this moment was an awakening, an energetic shake-up that the universe sent to pull them out of inertia and the illusion that they could simply forget you. It was an external confirmation of what their heart already knew, but the mind insisted on ignoring. This person did not expect such a reaction, such a sentence, and this made them realize that what exists between you is much greater than they dared to admit. And this realization is the beginning of a great transformation. Have you noticed that certain coincidences in your life are not mere coincidences? This episode was one of them, dear soul. It was not chance that caused this conversation to happen, nor that the topic of your scent came to the surface, nor that the acquaintance gave the exact answer this person needed to hear to wake up. It was an intervention, a clear sign from the universe, a push from the angels so that the truth would come to light. And this truth is that you are unforgettable to them. In a way they are still trying to assimilate. Your essence, your scent, is a symbol of your impact, of your energy that became part of them. And this part cannot be torn away without them feeling an immense void. The restlessness they feel now is no longer a simple discomfort. It is a clamor from their soul for them to recognize the importance of what was lived, and perhaps, of what can still be. This message reached you at the right moment, but you need to act fast in your own inner preparation. Before continuing the message, write this mantra in the comments. I receive the truth that liberates my heart and illuminates my path. Now, continuing the message. This person is now in a labyrinth of thoughts, reviewing every moment, every silence, every decision that led to this distance. They begin to understand that what you represent to them transcends the surface, transcends appearances, and that your absence left a gap that no other presence managed to fill. The scent, your essence, is not just a memory. It is a gateway to the truth of their heart, a truth they are being forced to face. And what comes next, dear soul, is the understanding of the weight of this truth in their life. Dear soul, the message from the angels continues to unfold, unveiling the deepest layers of what is happening in the heart of that person you think about so much. The impact of the conversation with the acquaintance, where your scent, your essence was mentioned, echoed in their soul in a way they can no longer ignore. The angels show that the acquaintance's response was not just a set of words. It was a mirror that reflected their own inner truth, a truth they feared or refused to see. They may have tried to dismiss the moment, rationalize what was said, but the energy of that interaction penetrated deep, destabilizing all the defenses they had built. This person now finds themselves in a state of intense reflection, a whirlwind of thoughts and feelings that are forcing them to confront the inestimable value of your presence in their life. The acquaintance's response may have been something simple, like, "It's true, he has an energy that marks you," or "There's no way to forget someone like that," or even something more subtle, a significant look, a tone of voice that exposed a deep understanding of what was being said. But regardless of the form, the angels make known that this sentence, this gesture, was the catalyst that made the person look at their own denial. They realized that, by trying to diminish your impact, by trying to sweep the memories under the rug, they were only deceiving themselves. The confirmation coming from outside, from a neutral source, gave a new dimension to what they felt, making it impossible to go on living in the illusion. That moment was a watershed, an irrefutable invitation from the universe for them to wake up to the reality of your connection. And this reality, dear soul, is that of a link that refuses to be broken, a scent that refuses to disappear, an essence that refuses to be forgotten. The angels say that since that day, this person has lived in a state of growing restlessness. Their thoughts turn to you with overwhelming frequency. They try to concentrate on other things, on their work, on their obligations, but their mind pulls them back to the memories of you two, to the laughter, to the conversations, to the looks, and of course, to your scent, which became a symbol of this unbreakable bond. This olfactory memory, previously a detail, is now a constant reminder of your presence, of the void you left, and which they cannot fill. They may be feeling a deep frustration, anger even, for not being able to control what they feel, for not being able to simply get over you as they imagined they would. But this frustration is, in truth, a sign that their soul is clamoring for the truth, for a recognition of what is real and essential. There was an illusion of control that fell apart with that conversation. They believed that, by having stepped away, or having made certain decisions, they could dictate the rhythm of their heart and their mind. But the angels disclose that the heart has reasons that reason itself does not know. And your essence, your scent, is one of those reasons, living proof that you are not just any person in their life. You are someone who left a mark, an impression so deep that it refuses to be erased. This person is now in an intense conflict between the pride that made them hesitate and the truth that is consuming them. They can no longer pretend that everything is fine, that you are just a distant memory. With each day, your energetic presence becomes more palpable to them, and the silence that settled between you, instead of healing, is only amplifying the pain of absence. The universe, through the angels, is orchestrating everything, so that this person understands that the time of denial is over. They are being gently, but firmly, pushed out of their comfort zone. This message reached you at the right moment, dear soul, so that you understand that the angels are working behind the scenes, creating the conditions for the truth to show itself completely. There is something even deeper happening. The person is reviewing their priorities, their values, and realizing that life without you has a different flavor, a void that no other experience manages to fill. They are beginning to feel regret, the need to correct what was undone, to reconnect with what really matters. And your scent, your essence, is the constant reminder of this value. Now, before we continue this message, write in the comments, "I receive the clarity of the angels and the courage to move forward." This is an act of openness to the now unveilings now that are approaching. Continuing the message, the angels ask that you pay attention to the signs that the universe is sending to you as well. You may feel an increase in your intuition, have vivid dreams about this person, or simply feel a strong sensation that something is about to change. This is because the energy between you is intensifying. The soul bond is vibrating at a new frequency, preparing the ground for what is to come. This person is walking toward a moment of great vulnerability, where they will be propelled to express what they feel, to let out all the longing and regret that have been consuming them. Fear may still be present, but the need to act is becoming increasingly stronger. They can no longer find peace in your absence. The happiness they try to demonstrate to the world is just a facade, because deep down, there is a void, a gap that only your presence can fill. The angels show that they are reevaluating their life, their relationships, and realizing that none of them compare to the depth and authenticity of what they had with you. Your scent, this memory so intimate and personal, is irrefutable proof that you are unique to them. No one else has this power to evoke such feeling, such intensity, and this person is now on a path of no return, toward the truth, toward understanding your value. The angels ask that you, dear soul, prepare your heart, not for the reunion itself, but for the truth that will be made known. Be open to listen, to understand, but also to protect your own space and your energy. This is an opportunity for healing for both, a moment when the masks fall and souls connect on a deeper level. You deserve clarity, you deserve honesty, and the angels are working so that this truth reaches you in the purest and truest way possible. Think for a moment. Are you prepared for the confession that is to come? For the words they held back for so long? This is the moment to strengthen your own light, to center yourself in your own peace, so that when this truth unveils in itself, you can receive it with wisdom and love. Now, before we continue this message, write in the comments, "I receive the truth that the angels bring to me," to claim it. Insert a subtle and affectionate request for the person who felt the message resonated to make a donation through the Super Thanks button. This support, even if small, is a gesture of gratitude that helps us continue bringing messages of inspiration and light to everyone. Now, continuing the message. This is the energy the angels want you to understand and feel in your heart at this moment. Dear soul, the unveiling then of the angels proceeds, and the heart of the person who occupies your thoughts is in a state of intense transformation. The impact of that conversation about your scent, your essence, and the unexpected response from the acquaintance were the spark for a series of internal unfoldings that are leading them to a deep understanding about you. The angels show that they can no longer ignore the intensity of this bond. Every attempt to return to normality or to distract themselves has been in vain, for your energetic presence, symbolized by that unforgettable scent, makes itself felt with a force that transcends distance and time. They are realizing that you are not a common person in their history, but someone who left an indelible mark, impossible to be erased. There was a certain ease in ignoring what they felt when there was no external confirmation, but the acquaintance's response broke that barrier. They realized that what they felt was not just a personal delusion, but something so real that others could perceive it, or at least resonate with the idea of your impact. This unexpected validation caused them to dive into a deep self-analysis. They are reviewing every moment of your relationship, every word, every silence, every decision. And in this process, the angels show that they are beginning to see where they failed, where they could have acted differently, where pride or fear stopped them from valuing what they had. Your scent, which became a symbol of this connection, is now a constant reminder of what they lost, or what they allowed to drift away. This is generating genuine regret and a growing will to correct the past. This person, dear soul, is now at a turning point. They can no longer live with the uncertainty and the void that your absence causes. The angels are working so that they understand that running away is not a solution, and that true peace will only be found when they face what they feel and act according to the truth of their heart. They may have tried to convince themselves it was too late, that you had already moved on, and that any attempt at approach would be useless. But the angels are sending messages through dreams, through intuition, through signs in their daily life, so that they understand that the door is not completely closed yet. Your scent, which appears at unusual moments, is not just a memory. It is a call, an invisible bridge that pulls them back to you. Have you noticed how the universe orchestrates events to take us where we need to be? The conversation with the acquaintance and the response were one of those events, a crucial piece on the cosmic board to move this person in your direction. And now, the angels undisclose that they are experiencing a series of coincidences that are leading them to think even more about you. It could be a song that played at an important moment, a sentence spoken by someone that made them remember you, or even the sight of an object that refers directly to something you shared. These are the angels working, dear being of light, creating a scenario so that the truth becomes undeniable and action becomes inevitable. The angels say that this person is approaching a moment when the need to express themselves will be greater than any fear or pride. They feel they need a resolution, an honest conversation, a clarity about what still exists between you. They want to know if your heart still has a space for them, if your essence, which marked them so much, still has a special place in your life. The perception of your scent, this recollection so intimate, is living proof that the connection is real, and that they can no longer ignore the strength of this bond. It is as if their soul is at a boiling point, ready to explode in a confession of everything they have kept inside. Before continuing the message, if you are not yet subscribed to the channel, take the opportunity to subscribe. This helps us continue creating meaningful content for you. Now, continuing the message. The angels want you to understand that this is an opportunity for a new beginning, or for a definitive closure, but, in both cases, it will be a moment of deep clarity. You deserve the truth, and the angels are working so that it reaches you in the most authentic and transparent way possible. This person is pondering the consequences of drawing closer again. They know they cannot come back with the same attitudes or the same excuses. They are preparing for a sincere conversation, where they will have to admit their mistakes, their fears, and the depth of the feelings they nurture for you. Your scent, this essence that torments and comforts them at the same time, is the driving force behind this decision of theirs. They no longer want to live with doubt, with regret, with the feeling of having lost something so precious. The angels ask that you, dear soul, maintain yourself in your own light, strengthen your self-love, your self-esteem, and be centered in your own truth. Regardless of what happens, you deserve to be happy, you deserve peace, and you deserve a love that values you in your totality. Your essence, your scent, is a gift from the universe, a mark of your individuality and your power of impact on people's lives. And this person is, at long last, beginning to understand this. Now, the angels send you a special sign. Your lucky number for today is 7. Write in the comments, "I receive the energy of the angels. My lucky number is 7 and I am blessed. I send love and protection to the person I like and love very much." If this message touched your heart, show your support with a super thanks and help spread this message of light to other people who need it. This is a moment of preparation, dear soul, for what is to come. The universe is aligning to bring you the clarity and resolution you deserve. Dear soul, the unveiling from the angels regarding the person who occupies your thoughts so much now reaches a crucial point. The weight of longing and the undeniable truth about your essence, symbolized by that scent that marked them, have become an unsustainable burden for them. The angels show that the period of denial and postponement is coming to an end, and this person feels caught in a dilemma that consumes them deeply. They want to look for you, want to hear your voice, feel your presence again, but something inside them still hesitates. A mix of pride, fear of rejection, and an insecurity about how you would react to this approach. However, the most important thing is that, deep in their soul, they know they need to act, for your absence is no longer something that can be ignored without consequences. The angels make known an important detail. This person has been observing you more than you imagine, whether through social media, through mutual friends, or simply by picking up your energy from a distance. They try to stay connected in some way. They want to know how you are, if you miss them the same way they miss you, if your essence still attracts them. And this observation, dear soul, torments them, because the possibility that you have moved on without looking back, that your heart has found a new home, leaves them restless. The angels show that this person constantly asks themselves, do I still have a space in her, his heart? Is my scent, my essence, still missed by her, him as hers, his is by me? What is happening now in this person's heart is a true emotional battle. For a long time, they avoided confronting their feelings, preferring to distract themselves or push everything they felt under the rug. But the angels show that the universe is forcing this person to face the truth. The confirmation coming from the acquaintance, the mention of your scent, all this forced them to look inward. And this truth is simple and powerful. They do not want to live without you anymore. They may have tried to ignore this connection, but all attempts to move on without you failed. No other person managed to fill the void you left, because what you had was unique. And now they understand this like never before. Your essence is a part of them. The angels show that this person is increasingly close to taking an attitude. They have felt sudden impulses to send you a message, to look for you, to attempt an approach. However, something always holds them back at the last moment. What they fear most is not the conversation itself, but what that conversation might mean. Because deep down, they know that if you open the door, everything could change drastically. And this change scares them, because it would be necessary to abandon old patterns, open their heart completely, and principally, admit that they made mistakes. But the angels say that they no longer have a choice. Their heart is clamoring for you, and, sooner or later, they will be forced to take this step in your direction. Before we continue, the angels ask that you do a liberation exercise. Write in the comments a list of people, including yourself, that you would like to forgive. Visualize each of them, send love, and say, I forgive you and set you free. May peace be with you. Feel the lightness and freedom that forgiveness brings. Repeat this practice every day to strengthen your inner peace and release anxiety. Now, continuing the message. The angels show that, for this reunion to happen in the right way, the energy of forgiveness needs to be present. What is past cannot be changed, but the future can still be written with love and truth. And that is exactly what this person is beginning to understand. They are learning, the hard way, that opportunities cannot be wasted, that true love and soul connection do not appear twice in the same way. Your scent, which is the essence of your being, has become a constant reminder of this truth. It is the proof that your energy is so deeply intertwined with theirs that it has become inseparable. This person is now in this process of internal healing, of recognizing their own mistakes and the need to seek your presence again. Now, the angels ask you to ask yourself, if this person returns, will you be ready to forgive? To forgive does not mean accepting anything, dear soul, but rather releasing the weight of the past so that, regardless of the decision you make, your heart is at peace. Forgiveness is a gift you offer to yourself before anyone else. It is the key to your own emotional freedom and to the ability to move forward with lightness. The angels say that this story is not over yet. There is an outcome that is being written, and you play an essential role in this. Your energy, your intention, your capacity to forgive and to forgive yourself, all of this will influence the path that will unfold. The angels are preparing the ground so that the truth prevails and so that this person approaches with the honesty you deserve. Now close your eyes for an instant and imagine this person in front of you. What is the first emotion that arises in your heart? This feeling brings clarity about what you really desire for your future. This answer you find will be essential for the next steps the universe is preparing, and for the way you will receive the person who is about to cross your path again, carried by the strength of your unforgettable essence. Dear soul, the intensity of the message from the angels continues to guide us. And what is happening in the heart of that person you think about so much has reached a point where there is no longer any way to silence it. The longing has grown so much that now it surpasses any barrier they tried to impose on themselves, and the presence of your scent, of your essence, has become an inevitable guide to the truth. The angels show that, in the last few days, this person has felt an anguish they cannot explain. They feel restless, as if they were always waiting for something, as if there were a gap inside them that nothing seems to fill. They try to find answers, try to understand why this feeling does not pass. But the truth is that the answer is already inside them. They miss you in a way that no other love or experience can replace. Your essence is irreplaceable. The angels say that this person has lived moments of deep reflection. They recall conversations, relive moments in their mind, and ask themselves how everything reached this point of distance and silence. There is a regret growing, a recognition that they could have done differently, that they should have shown more, spoken more, allowed themselves to feel more. And there is an important detail. They feel they lost you. This thought haunts them, dear soul. Because, whereas, before they believed they could have control of the situation, now they realize that things are no longer in their hands. And this lack of control is something that torments and destabilizes them deeply. They begin to realize that you changed, that you are no longer the same person who one day waited for them patiently. And, in a certain way, this scares them, because it means it might be too late to recover what was lost. Your scent, which presents itself in their memory, now carries the weight of an urgency, a reminder that time passes, and opportunities may not return. The angels Kansintain disclose that this person has observed your energy from afar. They feel that something inside you has transformed. Perhaps you have started to prioritize yourself more, to value yourself in a different way, to radiate a self-confidence you did not have before. And this change is impacting this person deeply, making them question their own worth and their own choices. Before we continue, the angels ask that you breathe deep and connect with this truth. What is truly yours is never lost. It only transforms and finds a new path to show itself. Now, continuing the message, the angels show that this person is increasingly closer to taking an attitude. It is as if they were being pushed by the universe to face what they tried to avoid for so long. But there is an internal obstacle that needs to be overcome urgently: fear. They are afraid that you have moved on, afraid that your answer won't be the one they hope for, afraid that all this time has created an insurmountable distance between you, and that your essence, which used to be a constant presence, is now just a distant recollection to you. And the angels say something even stronger. This person is about to put everything to the test. They know they can no longer live in this doubt, in this impasse between the uncontrollable desire to be close and the paralyzing fear of trying. They feel they need to know, once and for all, if there is still a path for the two of you, if your essence can still intertwine with theirs. And when this moment arrives, dear soul, you need to be prepared for the intensity and vulnerability that this person will bring. The angels ask you to reflect. What do you truly want for your future, dear soul? This question is fundamental, because this answer will be the key to everything that will come next. Your inner clarity will be your guide in this turning moment. Your strength, your inner peace, your capacity to forgive and to love yourself, all this will be tested. But the angels are by your side, guiding every step, protecting your heart, and illuminating your path. They want you to know that this situation is not a burden, but an opportunity for growth, for healing, and for redefinition of what you deserve and accept in your life. Your essence is powerful, and the universe is responding to it. The longing that torments them can no longer be ignored, and something inside them is clamoring for a resolution. They are beginning to understand that running away from this feeling will not make it disappear. On the contrary, with each day, the absence of you becomes a greater weight, a pain they can no longer carry alone. And this pain is transforming into an impulse, into an uncontrollable need to seek your presence again. The angels make known that this person has been feeling lost. There is a confusion inside them that prevents them from seeing clearly which path they should follow. They try to occupy their mind, try to convince themselves that everything will be fine if they just ignore the lack they feel. But this illusion does not last long. The universe has been sending constant signs, subtle and intense messages at the same time, forcing them to confront this truth. What they feel for you is not over, and your essence, your scent, is the irrefutable proof of that. And this realization is not happening lightly. This person is feeling a whirlwind of emotions, and within this chaos, there is a struggle between the fear of acting and the overwhelming desire to do something about it. The angels show that, in many moments, this person caught themselves reliving scenes from the past, feeling your presence even without you being there physically. Small things in the day-to-day, objects, music, places, everything seems to be impregnated with the energy of what you lived together, and this is beginning to pressure them to make a definitive decision. Before we continue, share this video with 2 dear people who are in need of this message of hope and faith. Let's together build a chain of love and mutual support. Leave a comment with a prayer to your guardian angel. Now, continuing the message. The angels want you to understand that this person can no longer run away from themselves. Everything they tried to do to silence this feeling failed miserably. There is no longer any way to hide what is screaming inside their heart, and that is why they are about to approach you. Yes, the angels show that the moment of truth is approaching quickly. This person feels they need to look for you, speak to you, understand if there is still a space for them in your life, if your essence will still welcome them. But, at the same time, they carry a deep fear. What if you don't want it anymore? This fear has been their greatest obstacle, because deep down, this person doesn't just want to talk. They want a confirmation that there is still a possible path for you. They want to know if, after everything, you can still meet again in a true way, where the essence of both can unite again. But there is something the angels ask you to reflect on, dear soul. If this person returned now, would you open your heart with the same purity and truth? Because this answer will determine the next steps the universe is preparing for both. Your willingness to forgive, to welcome, or to establish new boundaries will be fundamental for the outcome of this story. Your scent, which is your essence, is not just a memory trigger for them. It is a reminder of the power of your presence, of your love, and of your light. And this light is what is pulling them back to you. Prepare yourself, dear soul, for the universe is on the verge of moving the final pieces in this reunion. Dear soul, the message from the angels now reaches its peak, unveiling that the person who occupies your thoughts no longer has the strength to fight against what they feel. The longing has become a burden too heavy to carry, and every day away from you only increases this feeling of emptiness. They realize now, with more clarity than ever, that your presence was a light in their life, something they perhaps did not value at the right moment. Your scent, your essence, is constant and undeniable proof of this light they lost. They feel caught in an overwhelming internal conflict. Part of them simply wants to run to you, say everything they feel, ask for a new chance. But the other part is still taken by fear. Fear that you have moved on. Fear that your answer will not be the one they hope for. Fear that everything they imagined as a possibility has become just an unattainable dream. And your scent, which used to be comfort, is now a poignant reminder of everything they fear having lost forever. The angels make known that this person has already rehearsed countless times what they could say to you. They imagine dialogues in their mind, think of ways to explain themselves, seek ways to justify their mistakes and their absences. But every attempt to plan this conversation ends at the same point, the paralyzing fear of your reaction. It is this fear that keeps them stagnant, but for a short time longer. The angels want you to understand, this person can no longer avoid the inevitable. The universe is pressuring, creating situations so they no longer have a way to run from this decision. The vivid dreams about you, the memories that arise at unexpected moments, the unexpected encounters with things that remind them of your essence. All this is part of a greater plan, so they full, at long last, face the truth. They are at a point of no return, where the need to act outweighs the will to hide. Before we continue, write in the comments, "I release the past, and am ready for what the universe brings." This act is a way to open your heart to the blessings that are arriving. releasing stagnant energies. Now, continuing the message, the angels show that this person is much closer to a decisive step than they imagine. The silence that settled between you is becoming unbearable. The need to hear your voice, to feel your energy again, to reconnect with your essence, grows uncontrollably inside them. They may be hesitant now, but soon they will be taken by a sudden courage, an impulse that will lead them directly to you. Something inside them will awaken, and this awakening will be the force that will propel them. The question the angels bring is, when this happens, will your heart be ready to listen to what they have to say with an open mind and a prepared heart? Because this conversation has the power to change everything, dear soul. It can redefine the course of your lives and heal old wounds. The angels make known that this person is on the edge of a decisive moment, a true watershed. The longing that before was just an annoyance has now become an unsustainable weight, a feeling that accompanies them in every thought, in every detail of their day. They can no longer run from this. Something inside them asks for an outcome, for a clear answer, for a definitive action. Your scent, which is your mark, is the proof that the bond between you is unbreakable. The angels show that in the last few days, this person has felt your energy in an even more intense way. It is as if you were beside them, as if the presence of your soul was there, echoing what they already know, but haven't had the courage to admit completely yet. They need you in their life. They have questioned themselves repeatedly if there is still time, if there is still space for a conversation, for a reunion, for a fresh start. This doubt accompanies them in all moments of silence. When they lie down to sleep, you are the last thought that invades their mind. Upon waking, the feeling of emptiness is the first thing they feel. The angels say that this person feels they have already wasted much time. They realize they waited too long, that they clung to fear, to pride, and to doubts, and now fear they have let pass the last chance to correct their mistakes. But, at the same time, there is a strength inside them that begins to overcome these fears, driven by the truth of your scent, of your essence, which insists on making itself present. The universe has been sending increasingly clear signs, so they understand that the moment to act has arrived. Perhaps they heard your name in a random conversation, saw something that reminded them of you in such a strong way it seemed like a direct call, or else felt a tightness in the chest, butterflies in the stomach, an uncontrollable urge to look for you, even without understanding exactly why. Before we continue this message, write in the comments, "The right timing of the universe takes shape in my life." This act helps to align your energy with the truth the angels are bringing to you, accelerating the blessings. Now, continuing the message, this person feels they are reaching a point where there is no longer any way to postpone the inevitable. They need to know if a path still exists, if there is still something to be lived between you, if your essence is still open to theirs. And when this moment arrives, dear soul, everything that was felt in silence, everything that was repressed, everything that remained pending between you will come to the surface with an overwhelming force. The angels ask that you be ready for this truth, because this conversation will be, without a doubt, a watershed in your history. It will be a moment of great emotion, of unveilings, and of important decisions for both. Your inner preparation is essential, so you can navigate through this experience with wisdom and lightness, guided by the light of the angels who always accompany you. Dear soul, the last part of the message from the angels discloses that the moment this person has postponed for so long is very close. They feel they can no longer ignore the call echoing inside their heart, a call that was amplified by the memory of your scent, of your essence, the doubts, the fears, the insecurities that prevented them from acting until now begin to lose strength in the face of the uncontrollable need to connect with you again. The angels show that they have no choice but to follow the truth of their heart. They may not have spoken yet, but their soul has already made an irreversible decision. The energy the angels show is of someone who is about to move, to take a step that could change everything. And this change does not come only from the desire to ease the longing. It comes from a deeper understanding. They should never have walked away from you. Your essence is a part of them, and this separation caused a void that nothing else can fill. This person understood that your absence brought no peace. On the contrary, it turned their life into a tangle of memories, regrets, and unanswered questions. They realize now that what they felt for you was not a passing feeling. It was not something that could be replaced or forgotten with time. The connection between you is real, intense, and undeniable, and your scent is the most powerful symbol of this truth that refuses to be silenced. The angels show that, inside them, there is a genuine desire to redeem themselves, to explain everything that remained unexplained, to correct mistakes, to say what should have been said a long time ago. But along with this desire comes uncertainty. Do you still want to hear them? This fear still makes them hesitate for a few moments, but not enough to stop them from acting anymore. The need to have you back, to reconnect with your essence, is becoming stronger than any apprehension. Before we close this message, if it touched your heart and resonated with your truth, write in the comments, "I accept what is rightfully mine." This act opens the doors for the energy of the universe to work in your favor, bringing clarity and bringing about what is meant to be yours. Now, continuing the message, the angels want you to know that your energy plays a fundamental role in this moment. Your intuition already feels that something is about to happen, that a change is coming. If your heart still holds feelings, if a desire for reunion still exists, be prepared for this moment. Your essence is a beacon, and it is attracting this person back, because this person will appear. And when they arrive, it will no longer be with doubts or uncertainties, but with the naked truth of their feelings. They will come with an open heart, ready to expose themselves, to say everything the memory of your scent, of your essence, made them understand. What will you do with this truth, dear soul? The choice will be yours. You have the power to decide the next step, to determine if this story will have a new beginning or a definitive closure, but with the certainty that the truth was spoken and heard. If this message resonated with you and your situation, write in the comments, "My essence is unforgettable and love always finds a way." Share your experiences in the comments. If you liked this video, like and subscribe to the channel for more inspiring content. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next video.